You heard it. You know
Bow,
what's up. It
bow,
is
bow, bow,
Bros
bow, bow,
with
bow.
Mics. What up? I'm Tom.
I'm Cody.
Back like I forgot something. I'm something. You know, it's Bros with Mics, man. What's good? Let's go ahead and get this little review for week 7 going, man. Week 7, man. And we will say this is our second video we had to put out. The
Second
last
attempt.
one, the audio got scratched and we couldn't make something shake with it. But we'll get it in quick and easy, try to get it out there for y'all. First on the slate. We'll go through quick and easy. We're talking about in solo video, but Tennessee, Texas A&M. The same thing is going to stand before. I think Tennessee gets a stub. We got a 3-headed monster right there on that line. We should be able to hold up tough. They want to try to establish a run game against us, of course, but we keep that pressure on them, and then they're going to resort to passing. At that point, it'll be like the South Carolina game. We have about we have a 10 to 11% sack rate, which is pretty good. It's ranked in the top 10 for sacks. So we'll keep the pressure on them at home. You can't give up home turf, like I said before. I think Tennessee gets that dub. How about you?
Yeah, like you said before, we already covered this on our separate video, but just short and simple. I like Tennessee in this game. I know a few people from On Three did have A&M winning this. I feel like it is a sort of a toss up, in my opinion. I don't think it's as close as I don't think it's a gap as a lot of people think it is. Majority of Tennessee fans, but I think Tennessee, they play correctly. I don't even think they have to put a complete game together, like play their ass off for this. But I do think that they need to play a solid game to get this dub.
Yeah, man. You play hard. You stick to your fundamentals. You play discipline ball. No unnecessary fouls out there. Offsides, false starts. No unnecessary roughness on people. You play a solid game, a sound game, you get the win right here. I think we keep the pressure. I think Texas A&M is close to about a South Carolina. So I think we can get this win again. Pushing through. You're going to hit this Oregon and Washington game?
Oregon, Washington.
Yeah.
Last 10 years, Oregon does have them 7-3, I believe. 7-3. But 9 out of 10 games, they have been close games within a touchdown or even a field goal. Really was a majority of the games, around 3.5 points.
This October 10th and 11th.
Whoa. We're trying to get some advertisements in on us. You are not advertising for free, Amazon.
I think I like Oregon in this game just because Barron did make a good point in our last video that Oregon does have probably a better defense than Washington. Granted, a lot of people, I think it's kind of like, I kind of look at Oregon like Oklahoma. You look at it as, okay, this is who we are. We haven't played anybody, but we're still good. Like, just because you haven't played anybody, you're still a good team. Georgia hasn't played anybody until Kentucky, but they were still a good team, and they put that on display that against Kentucky last week. But I think Oregon is one of those teams. Washington has a lot of firepower. I don't think that Oregon comes in there and shuts down Washington, but I don't think it's a gap in this game. I know somebody said yesterday that it was kind of like Oregon takes off in the second half. I don't see that. I see it still. Either way, this is a toss-up game for me as well.
Yeah.
But I like Oregon money line.
Yeah, I'm willing to take that also. I take the money line on that with Oregon just because offensively they are pretty evenly matched. Washington has a better passing a little bit, but Oregon has a more established run. But we'll see the difference is going to be on yards allowed on defense. I think Oregon's defense can step up to the plate right there, which will allow them to take control of that game. But it's going to be one of those who makes the most mistakes in this game, right? Who can get those turnovers quick and who's going to be able to establish that run game because at the point in time, everybody can throw the ball. Whose defense is going to stop them? But you're going to be able to run the ball. That's going to be the difference maker in this one right here. Defense and running the ball. But I think Oregon can take this one on the money line also, and they're at home. No, disregard. They're at Washington. So it's going to be a little bit tougher, but I still have Oregon possibly coming out on top of this one.
Yeah. Next.
Miami, UNC. That's another one. Unlike the Oregon game where two teams are coming in undefeated, we saw what happened with Miami in their last game, which cost them the undefeated record right there. That slip up at the end, that's detriment. You can't make mistakes like that at this point in the season when you're trying to establish yourself in your conference, right? But I think in this one, UNC defense is pretty decent. Though they allow a little bit more yards, I think they establish it. at home on this one. And, I like home field advantages, especially at night. Right, I think it'll be a close one. I don't think it's going to be a blowout either way. It'll be back and forth with somebody pulling off at the last minute with a couple untimely mistakes that might be made due to the noise. But I take UNC money line on this one. How about you?
Yeah. You said where's it been played again?
At UNC.
Yeah, I think I like North Carolina. Defense kind of came alive in the last couple weeks. And I think they're only improving from 2 weeks ago. Moving till now. Miami.
It's the defense ain't nothing to sleep on, right? I'm not going to saying Miami's a slouch by any means on defense.
No.
But we look at who they've played. Miami of Ohio. Okay, we shouldn't expect them to score a lot. BCU, Boston College, they shouldn't score a lot. Temple, they shouldn't score a lot. These teams who shouldn't score a lot didn't score a lot. But then we look at Texas A&M, put up 33 on them. Georgia Tech put up 20 on them, right? There's a bit of an inconsistency that kind of pops up right there with your lower class opponents. You allow them to only score a total of 13 points versus 53 points coming out of those two teams in the Power 5 side of the game right there. So I think we see a little bit of a difference in that gap right there with the defense, and I think UNC can take it as long as, like I said, we say with everybody, you got to play a complete game, right? No unnecessary mistakes. Don't let the moment be too big. Don't go pissing down your leg because the moment's too big for you. Drake May shows up like he's been doing, and I think they walk out with a W.
Is it my turn? He was like, Cody, what do you think? Yeah, and I want to say, I don't think. I was like, never mind. Excuse me. Nah, honestly, I think Miami is very capable in this game. Mario Cristobal makes that team as good as they want to be. They're talented up front, defensively. They're fast at receiver. They got a decent quarterback. It's like we said, it's hard to go 1-0 each week. It is, and it don't matter who you're playing. And I think Miami's one of those teams that people circle on the calendar, especially in the ACC. So it's just, how do you move on from that Georgia Tech loss? I mean, you was rolling. It's only one loss. Season's not over with. But, I mean, you still got a lot of ball to play. But I think Drake May is doing his thing right now. And I think Miami still is riding high on that Texas A&M win, which is kind of starting to dwindle a little bit.
Yeah.
But still a great team, I think. A good team, I'll say. Still a good team. But I just like North Carolina in this game too much.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. Does Miami have a bounce back, or do they let that embarrassing loss kind of take hold of them and kind of poison the well a little bit? I guess we'll see on this game because that's embarrassing.
I kind of think that Mario Cristobal needs this game though for the his lack of coaching, I guess if you'll say last week. Kind of embarrassing moment. So it's like, okay, can you coach? So this week is definitely a week to prove, can you do that? So I think he desperately needs this game. But I think Drake May needs this game more than anything. Like I said, when people's on their last leg, meaning seniors last year, they're going to go out and play with a chip on their shoulder, and they're going to bring everything to the table.
Yeah.
So I definitely like North Carolina in this game, though.
Me too. I agree. How you feeling about this UCLA versus Oregon State? We've seen both of these teams who were undefeated at one point in time. We thought, hey, they might go all the way, both of them, but then they suffered some losses to some people they might not should have lost to. I mean, UCLA had a close one with Utah at 14-7, and same thing with Oregon State and Washington State. It's a 38-35 3-point game, one-score game both ways with these. So, how you feeling about this one with the Oregon State being at home on this game?
I like Oregon. I like Oregon State in this game. UCLA, I know Joe Klatt said it is one of his sleeper teams. They're not a bad team. Dante Moore, freshman quarterback, I've mentioned. Solid quarterback, still a young quarterback. Oregon State is a little bit more prepared defensively than Washington State was last week. And then they have a veteran quarterback at DJ. So I think I like Oregon State in this game. I think they're still looking for some hope as far as less let's go out and finish our season undefeated from our loss. So they're trying to run that table. And I think it's capable. It's a stretch, but I think it is capable for Oregon State. But I'm not. I know me and freshman quarterback. Like I'm not big on like freshmen. I know Jay Mozelle won the Heisman. I know Trevor Lawrence won championship his freshman year. So freshmen are very capable, but it's who you have around them, and I think that's UCLA's problems. Like you really don't know who you have around them yet. Still got to make some noise over there, but I just like a little bit. I like a little bit of experience in this game with Oregon State.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and I think with this one, you know how some people take your comparison, right? It's okay, you won against that team and we lost against that team, or you lost against that team and we beat that team. It's kind of hard to do with them because we look at they both played Utah and Washington State. One lost to one lost to the other. Like, you get what I'm saying? It's hard to compare when both teams have either won or lost against the opposite opponent. Now, if we look at the spread between those two, I mean, it might be a little bit more significant. But I think in this, it's just going to be a matter of Pac-12 being Pac-12, who's going to air it out the most, right? Who has the better defense? Who's going to uphold? And that's where I think the determining factor is for the Pac-12 is who can actually get some defense on the field to make a difference. I like Oregon State in this one. I just feel the defense is a little bit better at this point in time. Now, people will go in and say, oh, what about the yards allowed? What about the yards allowed? Look at the opponent difference between the two, right? For UCLA, their first three opponents was CCU, Coastal Carolina, San Diego, and CCU. They played their weaker opponents the first three games, which allowed them not to have as many yards scored against them, as opposed to Oregon State went ahead and put Washington in their first three games. That allowed a little bit more points in there. Then you got your Utah and you got your Cal. So you look at the strength of the opponent difference right there, you kind of see where a few more yards could come into play right there with it. But I like DJ Uiagalelei. He's a veteran at this point in time. He's been in these big games. He should be able to compete. And at this point, if you want to establish yourself in the Pac-12 and an already crowded top tier right there with USC, Oregon, Washington, you got to do something to make a difference at this point in time. And this is their moment to show that they can compete with those three teams. So I'll take Oregon State in this one. Also at home, 8 p.m. You know, it's probably going to be 1 o'clock, 1 a.m. before they finally finish the game, I'm sure. But I'll take Oregon State with this one. Cool. How you feeling about this USC versus Notre Dame? I know we had a pretty extensive conversation about this on the last one. Just the history behind the game. But how you feeling about this? I know Notre Dame was once your team.
Yeah, Notre Dame definitely was once my team. But I think I just have not like traditions that Notre Dame has possessed. Pete Carroll didn't like him when he was there, didn't like Matt Leinart when he was there, didn't like Reggie Bush when he was there. Don't like
USC.
Who did I say? Notre Dame?
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me. USC. I'll say it again. I definitely think that Notre Dame takes a page out of Arizona's book and tries to figure out how to pocket Caleb Williams, and I think they have a little bit better defense in Arizona to be able to get that done. I like Notre Dame in this game if they can. I think the defense, if defense plays well for Notre Dame, I like Notre Dame. But if it's a shootout, I think USC takes this. I probably wouldn't touch this game, honestly.
It's just very unpredictable.
It's a tricky one. But if I had to say, I'd probably say Notre Dame right now.
Okay. I mean, I'll take it to one. It's a night game. It's going to be a little bit colder. The California boys might not be used to it coming off the bus. That's a long way to travel out to Indiana, right? I think defense is key. We keep saying that over and over in all these games, but that really is the story of this year is who's going to have the more superior defenses at this point in time. We've seen everybody can score, but who's going to stop who first at this point in time? Is Notre Dame really going to tuck and curl after that Louisville loss? You got two. I mean, you're not necessarily fighting for the CFP anymore at this point in time. Now you're looking at, maybe we get a New Year's Six, maybe we get a solid bowl game, maybe we just get some yards and get some stats for our players. What are you coming to bring to the table at this point in time? Other than let's embarrass somebody else. We're on our way down. Let's bring people down with us at this point in time. And
I mean, this is a pretty rival game.
You fight people like that, though. When you
Yeah,
play people like that, it's dangerous.
yeah, they don't really necessarily have anything to lose. So the margin for error is a little wider. So
Yeah.
you go out and you make plays and you take shots down the field and you blitz and you cause havoc on the line of scrimmage.
Mhm.
So like I said, this is a pretty rivaled game, I'd say. But I think I'll take Notre Dame in this one, just simply on the fact that they have a defense. But USC has probably 2 times better off, or not probably. They have a 2 times better offense than Notre Dame.
Yeah.
But defense win you championships.
I mean, we say that, but they're in the Pac-12. The offense always looks a little bit more superior in the Pac-12, right? We know Caleb Williams. I'm not doubting his talent by any means, any way, shape, or form. Ran Heisman champion. I'm not doubting him, but we know the Pac-12 is known for their offenses. They're known for putting up yards, but then we see them in the big games against other people, and they're not known to be doing the same thing. They're not getting. We're not seeing them win national championships because their offense runs into a solid defense and then they fold at the end of the day. Right. So I think this could be a case like that where USC is very hyped because of who they played throughout the year, and they fold. But I don't. You never know. It's Caleb Williams, Lincoln Riley. He's a great offensive minded coach, so you never know.
I mean, it's like it's high scoring games in the college football playoffs for the most part. So I don't want to say that the SEC is just dominant over, because really it's Alabama, Georgia that's been dominant for the SEC. I don't think that kind of carries over for every SEC opponent, even ACC. Just because, I mean, out of the last, I believe, 8 years, the SEC has only won majority of their bowl games twice, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So normally, honestly, it's the Big 12 has done it 3 or 4 times. The ACC has done it quite a bit, but just give me Notre Dame.
Yeah, I'm taking Notre Dame. I will say for the last comment, I think what plays a factor too, with a lot of these things, especially in the SEC, we see a lot of these cats are usually going to the league, right? If they're not fighting for the national championship, they're just in a normal bowl game. More
Prima
often than
donnas
not,
in the Southeastern Conference is what
you
it
said
sounds
what?
like. Prima donnas in the Southeastern
A
Conference.
lot of those guys are, hey, we're going to opt out, and then they let backups come in, then you end up losing the game like that, as opposed to when they're in the playoffs, when they're in contention, everybody's staying, nobody's opting out, they can go to get wins. But the moment they're out of that, so many people opt out, as we saw with Tennessee. It happened with Jalen Hyatt and a few of our other stars last year who opted out. We still managed to get the W, but we do see people opt out, which causes bowl losses at the end of the day due to that, because you lose your players. But yeah, this one, like I said, I probably wouldn't touch because you never know. If you really want to get a winning bet, I'd avoid this one and just stick it somewhere else. But yeah, Notre Dame for me. But I don't know if I'm put my money where my mouth is on that one. All righty. We got another little matchup here, which I wouldn't necessarily say it's detrimental, but it kind of is, with LSU and Auburn, right? This is for
LSU.
LSU Auburn. It's for the West. Auburn kind of is like, we're not in contention to take the West anymore. It's gonna be another one of those, we nothing to lose, so why not go out there and break our backs every week to try to get somebody else in our position?
Yeah.
Try to take somebody down with us. And this is one of those where it's like, hey, they got nothing to lose. He might just come out there and make something shake just to stir it up a little bit more. So that's another one I think we got to watch out for. Just like with Arkansas, Alabama. These are games you got to watch out for because these people are going to play you as hard as they can. You're probably the best opponent coming up right now, so they're going to always play you a little bit tougher. So that's what we got to watch out for. Though we know LSU should beat Auburn. Auburn is no slouch, especially when you got nothing to lose. Same thing with Arkansas. They're no slouch, especially when you have nothing to lose. Like, why not give you my all? Why not try to come in and take you out? I got nothing else going on. Why not? So I think it's one of those. I think we pushed through the majority of the biggest games. You got any more that you kind of eyeballing that you think?
Kentucky, Missouri. I like this game a lot, actually. Kentucky coming off that loss, Missouri coming off that loss. Who bounces back?
Yeah. It's a battle for the East right here.
Yeah.
Well, second place in the East.
I think I like Missouri this game. I think Missouri can still make some shake. I think Kentucky can as well, but I think I'm gonna take Mizzou just because a little bit better defense, a little more physical. They like a lot of blitzes. Missouri does, and they stay at home pretty well for the most part. Definitely had a little lackadaisical Saturday with LSU on the defensive side, giving up the points that they gave up. But I mean, it was 23-7 at one point for Missouri. So I mean, Missouri's not a team to be slept on, and I think they handle business against Kentucky.
I'm the opposite. I like Kentucky in this one, man. I think Kentucky establishes this run game, and they pound it to them. They take Davis and just keep pushing up the hole. Again, that home field advantage is a mother, and I think they utilize that to get the W in those late games right there against the Missouri team, which I'm not fond of. That's why I try to avoid picking them at all costs. I'm not very fond of them. Kentucky neither. There's another one of the teams, they looked really good at the beginning. Everybody's like, oh, man, this team's going to be good. They're going to be good. Kentucky was good enough to basketball season was here, and then they let us know who the real Kentucky actually is, right? But I'm taking Kentucky in this. It was a battle of crap and crap. Which crap you taking? I guess I'll take the crap on my right. I'm a right-handed guy, so I'll take Kentucky on this one.
I think Mizzou is kind of a little. I don't like saying the word worse, but they're not as good. They play almost like Georgia, and I think that's kind of what Georgia struggled with last year. Is they not as great of quality as Georgia's defensively, but they play a lot like Georgia's defense. So I just if Kentucky couldn't get it right the first time, I don't think they get it right the second week.
Yeah,
against Mizzou, they kind of facing a instead of facing an A Georgia, I think they facing a like a B Georgia, and I don't think if 41-13, I don't think that B is gonna get it done either.
Yeah, maybe last week it was just something happened. There's something in the water. They went in riding too high. When you're, like I said, I think actually here's what happened. Like I say with Oklahoma, when you get put on that pedestal, everybody was talking too high on them, right? You fluff their head up way too much. Kentucky, oh, you're 5-0, you're 5-0. They might get the upset against Georgia. Hey, man, you can't start talking all that because then you fill people's head with hot air. And when you pop, it's embarrassing. Right? And that's what happened. That was a real embarrassing loss right there. I think that's what that was. But like a battle of crap, I'll take Kentucky on this one just because I don't like either team to win it, and I think it'll be a close game, but I'll take Kentucky coming out in the end with it.
Yeah. I think if I had to rank the whole SEC, I'd probably go Georgia, Bama, Tennessee, Mizzou. Or no, actually, I'd probably go Georgia, Bama, LSU, Tennessee. I don't know, interchangeable, and then Mizzou.
I don't know. I'd probably go Georgia, Tennessee for now. We'll see how we do against A&M. That'll be the determining factor. Tennessee, Alabama, A&M, because I think their defense is a lot better than most people on this list. Ole Miss, my top 4. So Georgia, Tennessee, Alabama, interchangeable. Ole Miss, that's 5 then. So Tennessee, Georgia, Tennessee, Bama, A&M.
Ole Miss might beat y'all.
Nah. I ain't worried about Ole Miss.
Honestly, I think the toss-up game is this A&M Tennessee game.
I think this might be the best game this weekend, and people are sleeping on it like, oh,
no, hell no.
I think there's a potential for it. No, actually, we got 2 top-ranked teams out there.
I was gonna say you got Notre Dame, USC, and Oregon and Washington.
Blowout. That's just an absolute blowout out there.
I think it goes, but I do think y'all are the 3rd best game this week. I think it's Oregon, Washington, Notre Dame. Honestly, that might be the 4th best game. Actually,
Behind who?
Yeah, I'd probably say the. Honestly,
I don't think so.
Hold on, because I mean, because everybody is ranked above y'all that's playing besides Kentucky, Missouri.
But only 2 of those are top ranked teams playing.
But it's ranked on ranked.
I guess ranked on ranked. ACC ranked on ranked. Yeah.
Yeah, it's ranked on rank. So
Yeah,
y'all might be like the
USC. We
fourth.
might be fourth right there behind Washington, Oregon,
Notre Dame, USC,
Notre Dame, USC, Miami,
UCLA,
UNC,
and UCLA, Oregon State.
UCLA, Oregon State. Yeah, okay. Okay, it's not as important because Texas A&M couldn't get a win against Alabama, but had they won against Alabama,
And
maybe a
then
lot
y'all
of
lost
factor. But you are
against.
number one in my book, Tennessee. Just know that.
Yeah.
Number one in my heart.
Man, I think that Florida game bites y'all.
I think it does a little bit, but not as much. It's good to lose early, right?
I mean, you don't
We
want to
still
lose
got
at
a
all.
lot of people ahead of us, having Georgia and Alabama, and we still got a lot of ranked people ahead of us at this point.
I mean,
in
yeah,
time.
you do, and you
So-
can definitely get back up there. I mean, it is better to lose early, but I just think that just losing in general with y'all scheduled to this point shouldn't have been no losses. I mean, y'all's favored in every game until this point, so
yeah, I mean, we're still favored in this one, but
yeah, you're favoring this one.
we
as well.
should have. I mean, we lost, and nothing we could do about it. Coulda, shoulda,
Right.
woulda.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened. Joe Milton was talking too much. That's really what it was at that point in time. You can't come out, well, I ain't never lost to Florida. We don't win in Florida all the time. Shut up and just go play. So what you need to do, shut up, put your nose to the grindstone, go play. But we still got Georgia. We still got Kentucky. We still got Missouri. We still got Alabama. We got A&M this weekend. We got a lot of talent still in front of us to knock down. So we get these dubs, especially against Texas A&M this weekend. Our biggest game, honestly, to me, the most impactful game of the season is beating Alabama at Alabama.
No,
Georgia at Neyland. They're gonna be like, okay, you got the home field advantage. They might discredit.
They're the number one.
Bit.
They hadn't lost in years.
I just don't want them to. Okay, I just don't want them to discredit. Well, you had Georgia at home. You got a home field advantage. But beating Alabama at Bryant-Denny 2 years in a row, that establishes a pattern, and they'll look at that Florida game as like that was a fluke. But you beat Alabama at Alabama.
Y'all played them in Alabama last year?
No, played them at Neyland this year. So I'm saying going to Alabama to beat them at Alabama this year with ESPN, how high they ride on Alabama. I think that's one of the most impactful games.
One game you won, I think it's the Georgia game, just because they hadn't lost in 2 years, right? They got the longest.
If you're the person that knocked the crown off the king,
yeah, they're number one. Bama's already been beat in Tuscaloosa, so it's already been done. It's not like it's a juggernaut right there. The juggernaut is Georgia. I don't think it's close.
Does Georgia go unscathed?
Or Bama's 29-0, 30-0 in the last 2.5 years, something like that. So Georgia. So I mean, yeah, it's definitely the Georgia game. You win that, you can lose to Bama and beat Georgia. I think if you had to drop one, it's the Bama game.
Yeah, but does Georgia go unscathed right here? They got not a tough stretch, but some competitive games with Florida, Missouri, Mississippi, then Tennessee. Hey, it's not an easy stretch by any man.
Their late November is kind of tough. I'm not gonna lie. No, everybody's saying Georgia's not playing by, but they got some quality opponents coming up with Ole Miss, especially Missouri, Tennessee. So I mean, I like to see if they handle that, then they're the Kings for a reason.
Yeah, but I mean, that's really it. It's a good slate of games this weekend. I'm here for it. Hopefully, we can get the dub, especially like I said, Coach coming out of a bye week is 7-1, but one of those losses, with the only loss being by 3 points, right there on the kick at the last minute. So, I think we can get it done. I think we get it done, man.
Yeah. Well,
y'all got a bye?
We got a bye this week, so shout out to the boys. Danny Stutzman had a fire little pregame speech that just came out actually today. And boy, if I would have heard that, a lot of people said they would have heard that pregame speech before they play Texas, they would have put all their money on Oklahoma. So I'll play it for you after the pod, Tom. But yeah, it's pretty fire. But that's it.
That's all she wrote. That's all she wrote.
Pros
short,
with
sweet.
Mics.
Yeah. Pros with Mike.
Yeah, sorry for I mean, we pretty much had to do this twice, so things didn't really wasn't as exciting as the first time, but we still got it out. Still got the content for you.
I see you rocking the Bros and Mike's t-shirt. Not the hoodie this time. You got the t-shirt on. Okay.
If you made this far, comment down below anything.
Give $1 million comment.
Comment down below. I'll send you a t-shirt. I promise.
Not the one you wearing, though, right?
Not the one I'm wearing. Not the one I'm wearing. But without further ado, this is Bros with Mics. My name's Cody.
I'm Tom, my boy, and I'm out this thing. Peace.